Welcome! This is a concise audio summary of James Clear's Atomic Habits. The core idea, small changes compound. Tiny daily improvements lead to remarkable long-term results. Clear defines a habit as a system of cues, cravings, responses, and rewards. Fix the system, not just the goal. In this series, you will hear practical frameworks: the 4 laws of behavior change, habit stacking, environment design, identity-based habits, and techniques for recovery after failure. Start by focusing on identity. Ask, who do you want to become? Habits are votes for that identity. Small, consistent actions confirm the identity over time. Summary of first steps: choose one small habit, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Repeat daily. Next section covers the first law: make it obvious. Atomic habits rely on systems over goals. Goals are results to achieve. Systems are processes that produce results. Clear uses the 1% rule. Improving by 1% each day compounds. Over a year, small gains become transformative. Practical implication: design daily routines. Focus on the process. Habits remove the need for motivation by automating behavior. Example: instead of a goal, write a book. Build a system. Write 300 words every morning. The system removes friction and sets a repeatable action. Another point: identity beats outcomes. When your system aligns with identity, consistency is easier. I am a writer leads to daily writing. Next, we break down the habit loop and the first law: cue and obviousness. Every habit follows a loop: cue, craving, response, reward. Cue triggers the brain to start a behavior. Craving is the motivational force. Response is the actual habit. Reward satisfies the craving and teaches the brain for next time. To change habits, intervene at the cue or the response. Make cues obvious for desired habits and invisible for unwanted ones. Identify typical cues: time, location, preceding action, emotional state, people, or immediate preceding behavior. Practical exercise: write a habit inventory. Note current habits and their cues. This reveals patterns and entry points for change. Next, Law 1. Make it obvious. Concrete strategies follow. The first law: make the cue obvious. Use implementation intentions. When X happens, I will do Y. Example: when I finish breakfast, I will write for 10 minutes. The plan links a new habit to an existing routine. Habit stacking extends this idea. After current habit, do new habit. This reduces decision friction and leverages existing cues. Visual cues help. Place objects in view that prompt action, like leaving running shoes by the door to cue exercise. Another tactic: redesign your environment. Remove friction for good habits, increase friction for bad ones by hiding or relocating triggers. Next, making habits attractive to create desire. The second law: make habits attractive. Motivation often follows desire. The brain learns to associate habits with pleasure. One technique: Temptation bundling. Pair something you want to do with something you need to do. Example, only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Another point, social norms affect attractiveness. Join groups where desired habits are normal. Social belonging influences behavior. Reframe habits to highlight benefits. Choose identity-based language. I exercise because I am healthy, rather than I exercise to lose weight. When a habit is attractive, it creates craving. Craving drives response. Shape cravings by associating the habit with positive feelings. Next, Law 3, make habits easy. The third law, make the habit easy. Reduce friction and simplify the start. Clear's 2-minute rule. Any habit can be started in 2 minutes. Reading becomes read 1 page. Writing becomes write 1 paragraph. The goal is to make starting trivial. Build repetition. Once started, momentum often carries you forward. Automate decisions. Prepare the environment. Pre-pack lunches. Set up workout clothes. Schedule focus blocks. Another tactic, optimize for frequency, not intensity. Make habits manageable so they survive disruptions. Next, Law 4, make habits satisfying. The fourth law, make the outcome satisfying. The brain repeats behaviors that feel rewarding. Immediate rewards beat delayed ones. Add small instant wins after desired behavior. Mark a calendar, check a box, celebrate briefly. Habit tracking increases satisfaction. Visual progress sustains motivation. The streak effect is powerful. Also, create meaningful intrinsic rewards. Align habits with values rather than only external rewards. To break bad habits, make them unsatisfying. Introduce immediate costs or accountability to reduce repetition. Next, mastering identity and how habits shape who you become. Changes stick when they reflect identity. Ask, what kind of person do I want to be? Then act like that person. Identity-based habits focus on becoming rather than achieving. Small actions are votes toward identity. Technique. State identity affirmations in action form. I am a runner becomes I run 3 times a week. Identity change is gradual. Repetition builds evidence. Each completed habit reinforces identity and makes the next action easier. Practical step. Choose identity-based statements, then design tiny behaviors that prove them true daily. Next, how to design the environment to support identity and habit. Environment shapes behavior more than willpower. Visual cues and layout influence choices. Make desired cues visible. Remove cues for bad habits. Design physical spaces that make the right action the easy action. Example, place fruit on the counter and hide snacks in opaque containers. Keep your keyboard visible to prompt writing. Small adjustments compound. Habit-friendly environments reduce decision fatigue and preserve willpower for harder choices. For teams, shape culture through space and routines. Rituals and layout guide group behavior. Next, habit stacking and implementation tactics to link behaviors. Habit stacking links a new habit to an existing one. The formula? After current habit, I will new habit. Stacking leverages predictable cues and reduces effort to remember. It builds chains of behavior that become automatic. Implementation intentions define when and where a habit will occur. They remove ambiguity and increase follow-through. Combine stacking with the 2-minute rule. Start tiny. Expand gradually as the habit gains traction. Example stack: after I brew coffee, I will write 1 sentence. This makes writing part of a morning routine. Next, choosing the right size and frequency of habits to ensure long-term adherence. Frequency matters more than intensity. Repetition builds automaticity. Aim for consistency over performance. Clear emphasizes practice. Habits become easier through repeated exposure and refinement. Plateaus occur. Persist through boredom. Focus on the process rather than immediate improvement. Use feedback loops to refine your approach. Track metrics that matter and adjust the system. Small daily wins compound into expertise. The 10,000-hour myth aside, regular deliberate practice yields results. Next, advanced tactics for habit formation and mastery. Advanced tactics increase adherence. Temptation bundling pairs pleasurable activities with necessary ones. Use commitment devices to lock future behavior. Automatic transfers for savings are a financial habit example. Habit automation reduces friction. Schedule actions and pre-commit. Remove choices that lead to failure. Leverage technology for reminders, tracking, and automation, but avoid over-reliance on tools that remove intrinsic motivation. Combine tactics strategically for compounding effects. Next, common obstacles and how to recover from setbacks.
Failure is part of the process. Expect plateaus and missed days. Key: never miss twice. A single lapse becomes a mistake, not a habit reversal, if you return quickly. Build systems that make recovery simple. Pre-plan how to restart after slips. Use accountability partners. Reframe setbacks as information. Analyze triggers and adjust cues and environment. Small course corrections keep habits intact over years. Next, measuring progress and the role of tracking. Measurement informs behavior. Track what you do, not only outcomes. Simple trackers create visual evidence of progress. Calendars and checklists reinforce streaks. Choose metrics that reflect the process. For example, count days exercised rather than weight lost. Tracking increases accountability and helps identify patterns and triggers. Keep tracking sustainable. Too much data creates fatigue. Next, social environment and group habits. People mirror the norms around them. Join communities that model desired behavior.
Peer pressure can be positive. Use accountability groups or public commitments to strengthen resolve. Leaders shape norms by signaling priorities and designing rituals. Social environments accelerate habit adoption or decay. Choose relationships and spaces that align with your goals. Next, habit strategies for teams and organizations. Organizational habits require systems, rituals, and incentives. Leaders design processes that make the right action the default. Hire for patterns, not only skills. Cultural norms propagate through onboarding and rituals. Small operational habits compound across teams into large outcomes. Measure process metrics and align rewards to behavior, not only results. Next, identity and long-term transformation. Long-term change centers on identity. Reinforce who you want to be through daily actions. Review and update systems periodically. Habits that served you at one stage may need adaptation. Celebrate identity milestones. Track the narrative you tell about yourself. Use small wins to maintain momentum and prevent regression. Next, practical examples and habit recipes to implement immediately. Concrete examples speed implementation. Reading habit. After dinner, read 1 page. Then, set a timer for 10 minutes. Stack on an existing cue. Exercise. Leave shoes by the bed. After brushing teeth, put on the shoes and walk for 2 minutes. Saving. Automate transfers to savings account the day after payday. Productivity. Use a focused 25-minute block after morning coffee for deep work. These recipes are templates. Modify to fit your life. Next, maintaining motivation and dealing with boredom. Motivation fluctuates. Systems survive boredom. Accept slow progress. Focus on compounding effects instead of instant gratification. Cultivate curiosity. Small experiments keep routines fresh. Mastery comes from persistent refinement of systems and practices. Use feedback loops and mentorship to accelerate improvement. Final part summarizes key takeaways and next steps. Recap. Small habits yield big results. Focus on systems over goals. Use the 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. Start with identity. Stack tiny behaviors onto existing routines. Track progress. Design your environment. Use social support. Practical next steps. Pick one identity. Choose one 2-minute habit. Stack it to a routine. Track daily and iterate weekly. If you miss a day, return immediately. Never miss twice. Use these scripts as templates. Adjust wording and examples to fit personal context. Consistency compounds. End of summary. Implement one small habit today.